Supposed to say two.
You're not supposed to say 2 or 1.
And we're live, boys and girls. Welcome to the Crafty Boys, where we drink beer and talk about shit. So
Yep.
that's basically the show. Welcome.
It's a show about
Um,
nothing.
it's a show about nothing.
I think it's already been done. The show in about.
What beer are you drinking?
Okay, so I'm having something a little bit off the board. So this is something that you can get, I think, probably virtually anywhere in North America. This is from Sierra Nevada Brewing, which is like a U.S. national brewing company.
Right.
It is their barrel aged narwhal, which is
Which looks good.
an imperial stout. And I didn't realize until after I had picked it that it's 11.9%.
I was gonna go get it, but I didn't see it online anywhere. But again, at the same time, shut up.
I'm gonna die. Now I also got the barley wine, and actually, I drank it already, and it was
You drank it already?
Wine. It wasn't even this powerful.
Oh man. Well, for my beer is one of those beers I had 2-3 weeks ago. The Herminator Icebox. I was actually in my fridge today, moving stuff around, and there was one can just laying on its side at the back of the fridge.
Pretend that you've never had it before.
Okay? I've never had this beer before.
Never
I've never heard
it.
of this company. I don't know anything about it, so I'm just going to try it and see if I like it. Because Jesus,
this is like motor oil. Check out this.
Oh, it's.
I mean, the viscosity on it is like. I don't know if you can measure viscosity on a beer, but oh, look at that.
My microphone went away. Hello, how are you?
That is beautiful. Oh,
does it smell good? Oh man. Oh. All right, here we go. I've never had this beer before. It looks like motor oil. Yep, I hate it. I hate it. I'm never going to buy this beer again until next year.
Okay, so this beer, this Narwhal, barrel-aged Imperial Stout, is chock full of flavor. Like, holy, it's like a punch to the face in just flavor.
All right, what is it, sir? What is the first licorice, hint?
Black licorice. I mean, it tastes like a stout that's been barrel aged in like rum barrels. I don't know what kind of barrels it has been. Does it say? Bourbon barrels, yes. Totally. You can totally taste the bourbon that's in it. And the 11.9% alcohol by volume is apparent. You can smell it.
How could you not? I mean, really, when you think about
it. My pores are sucking it in right now. If you like full-bodied beers that have a ton of flavor, this isn't a sipping beer by any. This is not quaffable, and I wouldn't suggest having more than one in a sitting.
Right.
But it's worth getting, and it's probably a little bit more expensive than your average beer. Now, I assume that where I got it, we had to they imported it from the U.S., so there's probably extra costs on top of that.
Right.
But I think it was about $7 Canadian.
How big is it?
It is a full pint.
Oh, okay. Well, it's
16 fluid ounces.
All right. I will not complain about that. I give that a pass, a lovely pass. Why did I not go out and get that beer? Damn it, pass. So, Okay.
Well, I'll tell you what. If they still have it at Cascadia, I'll pick you one up for Christmas.
That would be epic, because I will be there for a few days for Christmas.
Sweet.
On the 21st, I think.
Oh, okay, cool.
Okay.
So, are we doing the space case this year?
That is a very good question because I think we should. Because it's only 12, and like we did this year, we kind of worked through them through January.
Yeah.
Because our, you know,
Because we're
bodies, because we're old. However, I do want to do something right now. This arrived in the mail unannounced today. I have a suspicion it was from my parents. But I did comment to them a little while ago that I felt like I should do an advent calendar. But since we can't really find an advent calendar prepped for beer, this arrived today. Oh, it's beaming out.
Beaming out.
Hang on. Let me turn off my beaming software here for a sec, because that's really annoying. So here is what it is. This is the Star Wars Lego Advent Calendar that basically provides me with all kinds of chuckles. So here on camera, for the very first time, I need something to cut this open. I thought my keys were right here with my little knife, but oh, here they go. All right, so I'm gonna open this baby up. Now I know this is not beer related, but we're nerds, so it's, nerd related. Oh my god, I cut my nails today. That was a bad plan, wasn't it? All right.
For those just joining us, Shane
those
is
just
grunting
joining us.
because he's trying to open a box.
Trying to open a cardboard box. Not even cardboard. All right. So I actually have no idea what this thing really looks like. So let's find out together.
Isn't there like little windows like in the front that you're supposed to open individually instead of opening up the whole thing?
Oh, you're right. That thing almost fell out. Okay. I did not realize that.
See, this is how advent calendars work.
Oh my god. Okay, hang on.
You got to look for a 1.
There's no perforated.
Oh no.
Like there's numbers on here, but they're not perforated. Okay, let me open that up again because it almost fell out. We are very well versed in entertainment online. So which side is okay? So the back of this has all the numbers on it. But no, wait, no, that the example.
They have to have an example.
Well, like on the thing, it actually has an example of the box. So on here, there's a picture of the box that has all the numbers on it, but there's no numbers on here. I was just wondering if is there a flap that folds up or something? I don't know. I apparently am failing. Oh wait. Aha! Hang on. Aha! Things are starting to fall into place here. There are further tabs that are very well hidden. That seem to be where I am supposed to go. So
it's an origami box.
It's you think they would have like a big thing with arrows or something saying "open here," but that is not the case. I hope
Rubik's
so.
Advent Calendar.
Okay, yeah, okay, here we go. All right. Oh Jesus, there's another piece of tape. Come on, Lego, make this easier for the kids who were really into Lego back in the 80s. All right. Aha! Here we go. All right. And of course, you can't stand it up. You have to go around this way. All right. So number 1 is over here. All right. And in number 1 slot
is Lego.
All right.
I wonder what it's going to be.
This Lego appears to be Luke Skywalker? Maybe? No.
There's got to be more than just Luke Skywalker. It's got to be like a thing,
Well, it's Luke
like a little
Skywalker.
Jabba sail barge or something.
Jesus. Dropping off the board. But this is the hair that's involved with this particular
It
Lego.
looks like Luke hair.
And it does. That's why I thought it might be Luke. But
It could be a Wampa.
oh no, wait. The face has lipstick.
Oh,
I am going to call it and
Oh.
say that it is Luke Skywalker in his drag face.
or it could be like prequel Anakin, like Episode 1 Anakin.
All right, so let me try to. I don't know what. Okay, so here's the body. Let's put the face or the head on. And let's throw on some legs and the hair. All right. So let's see if we could get. Okay, who is this? Who is this?
Can these be from any episode?
I imagine they must be. There are some Ewoks and a bunch of other stuff, but is this one of the children that got murdered by?
Oh, maybe. Master
By
Skywalker,
Anakin?
there's too many of them. What are we going to do?
So, okay.
Well, I was wondering if it was
I have-
like one of the stable hands from The Last Jedi.
I think that yes, I think you're right because I don't know what the hell I'm supposed to build here. What is this?
It doesn't come with instructions.
Not in the advent calendar that I'm aware of here. No, I have no idea what this is supposed to be. I've got
All right.
parts like that. I have parts that are smooth. Is it a
Are there any
skateboard?
horse-like creatures?
No, it's this is a oh my I think ice is too hot for me. What the hell? I might have to seek inspiration on the box. I see the character on the box. I do not see the parts that I'm supposed to be okay.
Is there like a horse or something in there, or whatever those things were?
Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about. Oh, wait a second. There are instructions on the inside of the flap on the box.
Mm.
Okay, so I don't know what I'm supposed to be building. Oh, well, that's really bright. Okay. I still don't know what this is. What is this?
You're supposed to use your imagination, probably.
I know I'm trying to, but I mean, but this is a specific thing. This is like I'm gonna go get a Star Wars gingerbread thing. That'll got to be way easier than this.
Yeah.
So
It's too hard for us.
we're now old and falling.
Well, you got to use your imagination. So, Shane,
Yeah.
I got my Atari 2600 Plus.
It arrived.
It
Okay.
arrived. And I played it a few times. I showed my kids my youngest kid, and I showed them Combat, which for people who don't remember, it's a rudimentary game where there's two players, two tanks in a maze, and the whole goal is to seek out your opponent and shoot them. And it looks really rudimentary. And he was like, "Really? You guys played this?"
Did he really say that?
Well, not in so many words, but yeah, he seemed kind of unimpressed.
So basically, you have disowned him immediately.
Well, I mean, I can't really blame him. I mean, by today's standards, the games are really rudimentary. But you did have to use a certain amount of imagination with them, right?
What is his favorite video game?
Oh, hard to say. Right now, I don't know. Rocket League? I don't know. Apex Legends?
Apex Legends. All right, I can see that.
I mean, these are good games, but I mean, there's a certain simplicity, like a pleasant amount of simplicity that comes from playing those old games like Combat and Adventure and all that. Anyway, I ordered a bunch of used cartridges online. I haven't gotten them yet, but I'm pretty stoked about it. Got Chopper Command, and what else? Asteroids, Space Invaders. Okay. Are you done?
You have to have the classics.
Okay, got it.
Okay, let me turn off this stupid flashlight. All right, so I need you to tell me what the hell this is because I don't know what it is. Okay, so we have the character who's, I don't know.
He looks like the kid from the Blue Lagoon, to be honest.
He does, actually does, doesn't he? I need to have my... Anyway, but this is the thing that you have to build. And I don't know what this is. Like, if it's like I don't know, you stand the character up in this thing? Like, it seems like a sled? Oh, wait a second. I wonder if this is supposed to be a sled. I wonder if that's... Okay, maybe I'm putting these on backwards because it makes no sense otherwise. Okay, all right, okay. Random child with, I think, a sled. Maybe. I don't know. Does that look like a sled to you?
I guess. Weren't those horse things, weren't they like towing like some sort of like a rider on a sled or trailer thing? I don't know. Maybe not.
I don't know.
To be honest, I didn't watch The Last Jedi. I think I watched it like twice and I was like, yeah, that's enough.
I've only seen it once, so there you go. So there we go. Shout out to my I'm assuming my parents bought this for me, and as if I'm confused about what the heck this is supposed to be, I will have to confer online. But again, it's Lego and it's Star Wars, and I'm happy about it. So
I'm curious now. I want to know what it is.
The character's thing does not like his sled object thing doesn't seem to appear on the box. Oh no, wait, I found him. It is a sled. Okay, so this character is over here. Oh, good lord. You'd think
maybe,
oh yeah, whatever.
Maybe it was like a family that like maybe the rebels had families on Hoth and this kid was tobogganing or something.
Could you imagine growing up as a child on Hoth? Like, you would be inside 99% of the time because, Tauntauns freeze after dark. Of course, Tauntauns... Okay, refresh my brain. Are Tauntauns indigenous to Hoth? Or they just
that's what I was going to ask. Are Tauntauns indigenous to Hoth? Because that doesn't make sense. I mean, the Wampa seems to be fine. Right?
The Wampa seemed fine. I mean, he obviously had a cave.
I mean, how does a creature evolve on a planet like Hoth without the ability to survive its...
No, they are. They're native to Hoth. What the hell? And the Wampa... Wow, I would not have guessed. I mean, I assume they brought them with them, but because why would a spacefaring...
all the Tauntauns die at night?
I guess I just assumed that the Rebel Alliance showed up and they brought Tauntauns with them for some reason. Because I guess maybe, I don't know, we can't fly around all the time on hovercraft or anything because they'll be detected by the Empire. Maybe that's what it is. But the fact that they're indigenous to that, I mean, maybe there's other biomes. Maybe Hoth. I guess it's supposed to be like an ice planet. So
it's supposed to be.
Although in the Mandalorian, wasn't there another creature, another planet that the adventurers landed on, and they were like, ice spiders or something that lived in the
Yeah.
tunnels or whatever.
Yeah.
So
that
I
was
guess
actually the first episode.
so. If Tauntaun, now I want to know more about the ecology of the planet so that I can
I think we're
understand how.
overthinking.
I want to know everything about Hoth because I want to understand how tauntauns are actually. You know, the tauntaun herds, you know, they all.
If you go up to George Lucas and say, how do tauntauns freeze at night if they're indigenous to the planet Hoth? And he would look at you and go, it's a movie, dude.
Yeah, exactly. Like, move out of your basement.
Kiss a girl.
Go outside. It's just a TV show, or a movie. Well, you know, I mean, there's got, you know, you just know now that you and I have sort of stumbled across this ridiculousness that there is somebody out there that has completely written out the migratory patterns of tauntaun herds.
Somebody's written like a dissertation for their doctorate based on this. I bet.
It would not surprise me. Absolutely not, because we're nerds, but we're not nerds. If you get,
I mean, we're not like putting on Spock ears and going to like conventions and that kind of thing.
No, because it takes too much time and I don't care. but if somebody walked up to me and said, here's a Wampa outfit, you get to stand on stilts and growl through a thing. I mean, maybe I'd do that, I guess. But I got to say that the highlight of December 1st for me, for the with you know, this, of course.
Sure.
However, I'll tell you a really ridiculous story because I was surprised at how excited I was. So, in our place, we have 2 or 4 windows that are on the end of the suite that, you know, look outside, as windows do. And for years, when we first moved in back in like 2001, there were these really thin linen drapes that had been water damaged, stained, and the bottoms were all torn. Like somebody, like a cat had a go at them for years. And so about a year after we got here, the landlord showed up unannounced and said, hey, here is some new drapes. Oh, I'm like, okay, cool. So they hung these ugly drapes and life moved on. Then I brought birds back here and about 5, 6, 7 years ago, and the birds ate those drapes. So there were these gaping holes that they had munched on these drapes and destroyed them. So for the longest time, I was thinking, you know, maybe it's time to invest in like some nice drapes or some blinds or something, you know, something that I could sit back, drink beer, and be proud of these ridiculous window coverings. So anyway, last week, during the Black Death sale, the Black Friday sale, the Black Death sale. So, anyways, I saw some drapes. I thought, oh, those drapes look pretty cool. You know, I'm gonna get some drapes. Yeah, I'm gonna buy some drapes. Yeah, they're long enough. They're gonna cover the whole thing. So
you know that you're an adult when you say, I'm gonna go out and buy drapes.
Right? I know this is why I'm telling this story.
Okay.
So I bought these things. I was a bit indifferent. I just wanted to make sure they were the right length and they blocked out sun and whatnot. So I ordered them and thought, okay, they'll be here in like a week and a half. Great. Awesome. So they showed up today, like a week before they were supposed to be here. And I was surprised. And then I opened them, and then suddenly it was like about 25% Christmas morning feeling. I got so excited about these bloody drapes. I was sitting there unboxing this stuff going, why am I so excited about, I've got to tell Alan this later. But I was just suddenly I was like, oh my, this is the best thing ever. It's like Star Wars toys in the 70s. And so I immediately hung these drapes and threw out the old drapes. And I to this, you know, this was only like 3 or 4 hours ago, and I have no idea why I was so excited to hang drapes. And you're right. We're now you've moved on to adulthood. when you buy drapes, and when they show up, you're like, oh yeah, yeah, I'm gonna hang these right now. Yeah, these are gonna look great. Now, of course, they're hung, and I'm like, I could care less. But it's just so bizarre that these stupid drapes made me
So
so
bizarre.
happy today. Where beer should be really doing that. So
Wow. Drapes. Wow.
I know. Absolutely just insanity. So yeah, drapes are awesome. So anyone watching, listening out there, if you get some drapes and you're excited about them, you're old. But anyway, let's talk about something more exciting. But I just had to share that with you because that was just the most ridiculous thing in my life today.
So, exciting things. We talked about this, I guess, a few months ago, but there is a sequel to Spinal Tap coming out. And it's filming now. And in it is going to be Elton John. And
they brought him out of retirement.
And somebody else. It was announced online. An old British rocker, not Mick Jagger.
Not Mick Jagger. Let's see. Spinal Tap sequel. Okay. Okay. I love this search for Spinal Tap. You see everything about the film Spinal Tap and then about lumbar punctures after that. Let me search for the sequel. So we have who's going to be in this thing? Rob Reiner teases details. Elton John. Oh, sorry, Paul McCartney.
Oh,
Paul McCartney. Now, I'm dying to see this film. I mean, quite honestly, the people who are in it, of course, the performers are they're our parents' age, maybe older actually, because I think not Rob Reiner. I think that isn't who plays the bassist?
Harry Shearer.
Harry Shearer. I think Harry Shearer is 80 this year.
No,
I think he's actually much older than I remember. So he is okay. No, maybe he's not. 79. He's 79.
Well, that's still.
Oh, actually, I'm right. He's actually going to be 80. That's why where I'm getting this from, because I looked him up a little while back, and his birthday is December 23rd. So he will be 80 this year for the last few days of it. So yeah, I gotta say that he does not look it.
No.
If you look him up, he definitely
Same deal with Mick Jagger.
Yeah, that's true. Mick Jagger definitely does not look his age. But,
so I think the secret to being youthful is being rich and famous. Is what
pretty much.
Yeah.
I mean, Harry Shearer also had like a podcast for a while that I listened to. I thought was quite funny. Where he basically talked about like 4 or 5 different news articles, and then he acted them out. So like he did all the voices, of course, for all the different interactions and things. So, hello, Dash. How are you? Are you dashing through no snow?
I think she's trying to get her ball, which is probably stuck under a chair or a couch or something.
Yeah, that dog needs to really take some classes. How to find things under a couch 101. That kind of thing.
She can sniff it. She knows it's there.
It's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. So, okay, for December 1st, I shared with you a crazy story about stupid drapes.
Yeah.
Did you have any experiences today that sort of are starting you off on the Christmas spirit journey for the next 24 days?
Well, at my office, everybody was decorating. And this is something I don't really participate in at work. Work is a place you go to just work. You clock in, you clock out, you go home, and you go about your life.
Right.
Right? So, I mean, I don't really spend a lot of time thinking about my decor at work. But other people do. And that's fine. But yeah, so everybody was like decorating areas. The thing is, I work in a medical environment, and there's all these very strict rules about where you can put Christmas decorations. Apparently, I can't remember if they can or can't be in public areas. I have a feeling it's that they can't, but I don't know.
At your sister office here in town, which I have visited many times, they seem to be behind, desks and things. They're not hidden, but they are visible to the public. And
I don't know
gotta
why.
say,
Like we used to actually decorate, our office, like even the places where the public are.
right.
We used to hire somebody to come in and decorate Christmas trees and stuff. And
Okay.
the past few years, we not only stopped that, it's like we have said no, absolutely not. There isn't going to be anything, and I don't really know why that is.
That makes no sense because, I mean, I suppose as long as you're not putting up like, I don't know, hey, over here we have the Playboy bunny tree. Playboy bunnies representing from 1954 to 1992 are on this tree. Over here is 93 to the more modern ones from this year. So, if you touch the button on the very bottom of the tree there, they suddenly all lift their tops. Like what? I suppose if you build a tree like that, you might not want to have it in your office, area. But again, when did it stop? Are we talking like 3 years ago, 5 years ago?
Yeah, I guess about 5 or 6 years ago.
Okay, so if that's the case, then that's too bad because I think that woke culture has found its way into your office space, and you must kill it immediately.
Whatever. I don't
The
really.
fun
Again,
goes away.
like I say, it's my office. I don't really care. I clock
Well,
in.
here's the thing,
I
right?
collect my
That's
paycheck, I go home.
but here's the thing. But you should care. I think you should be the one decorating everywhere. Get on a ladder, hang some tinsel, get some garland out, wrap the.
When we pulled out our sort of decorations for my particular department today, we had these little stuffed elves, and
Okay.
little stuffed elf was supposed to one for every single staff person at the
Right.
time. This is like years ago, and mine still had my name actually on it. And I remember we were supposed to like hang them from different parts of the office, nicely, like you would like say like a Christmas ball or something like that. I actually took some twine at one point and fashioned it into a noose and put the noose around his neck and hung him and sort of positioned his neck so it was like his neck was broken.
That I fully support that. That to me is the best. That's actually, now that you said that, you're the reason that they stopped doing it because they were like,
Look,
did
now
you see
there's a warning
Office
because
4? Just want to point out that Julian, watching the show here, wants to have more Piper. Now, more Piper with a Christmas theme would be great. So,
There's a
Julian,
Piper
if you can
theme.
find that, please do send us links to it. I also, here's the thing. I'm trying to get into the Christmas spirit. I'm forcing myself to do it.
Sure.
So the other day, again, Black Friday sale. I bought some $10, 6.5 feet long, or no, maybe they're no 16 feet. Sorry, LED strips. So I hung them. They're now in my windows. I have one window that's red and another that's green. But to me, when I hung them, I only hung the lights like yesterday or the day before, and I felt like it was too early. Too early to do it. What is too early? Is there too early? Because 2-3 weeks ago, I started seeing Christmas trees in people's windows
Oh, I know.
around town.
I would say November 11th is too early. November 12th and after is fine.
Okay, I can see that.
That-
So
that-
when
that's
did
a-
you
Yeah.
have you decorated a tree yet?
No. Tomorrow.
You're doing it tomorrow? Yeah, so I believe we are doing as well. Advent is Sunday.
For us,
Yes, it is. But go away, Julian. We know it's Sunday.
For
Don't
us,
need to tell us, man.
It's sort of more of a scheduling thing because like one of my kids doesn't live here anymore, so it's when he's available, and he's available
he's gonna
tomorrow
come
night.
by and
So he's gonna come
Cool.
over. We're gonna have dinner and everything. And we'll
oh, sweet.
put the tree.
That's a good guide for Piper. What? I'm confused.
I think
What's a good guide
what
for?
he's saying is a good guide for when to put up the trees. Advent.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So
And I'd agree with that.
yeah, I would fully support that. So Sunday is Advent, so therefore that's when trees. Now, here's the other thing: is that I have a friend who has a Christmas tree all year long, and what he does is he decorates it for the holiday of the time. So the tree is a Christmas tree, obviously for the season, and then he decorates it for Valentine's Day.
Is it a
And
live tree?
No, it's a fake tree. But he also he does the then it was Valentine's Day for a few weeks, and then it becomes a St. Patrick's Day tree, and then whatever other holidays. There's probably a ton of other ones. Those are the only ones I've seen.
Easter.
But probably Easter, yeah, of course. But yeah, I initially when he was telling me this and I saw the tree, I thought that's really kind of weird, dude. Like, but then as time went on, I kind of was thinking, why not? Why not have a tree year round? If you have the space to put it up and leave it up, why the hell not? Would you have a tree year long?
No.
So basically, what you're saying is that we have become so old and inflexible as to have outlived our usefulness.
Yes. I would accept that as an axiom. Would that constitute a joke?
Oh man, I did actually watch Star Trek: The Motion Sickness a little while ago.
Oh, dear God, why?
It was just like one of those things. I'm like, I have a copy of it, and I know it's the fancy new one. So of course I went onto YouTube and said, "Hey, do you have Star Trek: The Motion Sickness?" And it's like, "Yeah, here you go. 45 different people have uploaded it." I'm like, I'll watch it there. And yeah, the whole special effect thing where they added a bunch of special effects to update them but still look like they might have been done in the 70s. I don't know. I'm trying to determine if that's a Christmas movie.
What?
Like Star Trek 2, Star Trek 3. Which out of all the Star Trek films that you and I grew up with what is the closest to being a Christmas film?
None.
None? All right.
None of them.
Hey,
I suppose Star Trek 5, if you're going to, because they're actually looking for God.
okay, that's a good point. That's a very good point. So that actually might work. What about, well, speaking of Christmas films, are you planning on watching any?
Oh, of course.
I just the other day watched. We actually started a bit early. About this time last week. We watched started watching the second season of The Santa Clauses, which is that sequel on.
Is it like a show, like a TV show?
Yeah, I mean, they range between like 30 minutes to an hour.
Oh.
Excuse me, but basically it's the same amount of time in the future. So the last film came out in 96 or whatever it was. And so the characters have aged that much, which is fine. The first season, which came out last Christmas, was pretty good. It had, the kid who was the tiny kid in the movies was still there. But of course he's an adult and he's married with his own children and whatnot.
Right.
And they write him out very quickly. Get out of here, kid. We don't need your character.
Okay.
And it's the Tim, what's his name?
Tim Allen.
Tim Allen thing. I was going to say Tim the Tool Man guy. That guy. Him and his Mrs. Claus, the woman who played one of the lead characters in the show Lost,
Yes. I know.
whose name escapes me. Anyway, they've had 2 more children that grew up in the North Pole, and it's all about their adventures. And my favorite part, though, is there's a character who's a witch character of some sort, who's played by that actress that I cannot think of her name, but she was in Pretty Woman. She was the buddy to Julia Roberts,
Right,
that
right.
character.
Yes. I know who
And
you're- Kit.
so every time I see her in this show, I still think about her saying, "Hey, Pops, $50 or no, $20 or 50 and your wife can watch." And I just keeps running through my head when I see her, which is really terrible, but it amuses me.
Yeah.
I recommend it. I mean, it's schlock. It's okay. But that's kind of what you want around this time of year. And
So
of course,
what is your favorite Christmas movie?
Die Hard. I mean, come on. Out of the gate, that's
Aside,
the first.
aside
That's the
from
favorite.
Die Hard.
Oh, aside from Die Hard, well, you have to have the classics. You have to watch The Grinch, of course. You have to watch the
And I
Baz
mean,
Luhrmann
like, the
ones.
60s
Baz Luhrmann.
Grinch,
Not
not-
Baz Luhrmann.
Not the Jim Carrey Grinch.
No. We're talking the
The cartoon.
Dr. Seuss cartoon.
Yeah.
You have to, of course, watch. After that, you need to watch the. I just said Baz Luhrmann. That's not what I meant. I meant Rankin Bass, the stop motion ones. You have to watch the Rudolph one, and if you want to watch a few more, there's 2 other Christmas ones. Of it's like Bing Crosby being some mailman, and then there's another one. I can't think of what the hell they are, but basically,
It was
more or
Santa
less.
Claus is Coming to Town.
That's the one with Bing
And
Crosby.
there's also that one, The Year Without a Santa Claus.
The year, yeah, that's right. Where that's the one that's a bit scarier because it has like the devil guy
The
who's
Snow
like, I've forgotten-
Miser and Heat Miser.
Yeah.
and-
Yeah, so all those dudes. So those I don't watch them every year, but I do. I think I watched those 2 last year. Come to think of it, and of course in my repertoire as well. Last year I sort of added one to the list, which is, oh my lord, what's the title? Santa basically kicks ass and he like murders a bunch of people.
What?
Oh, my
I
God.
remember you
Silent
showing me.
Night.
Yeah,
Silent
yeah.
Night. Highly recommend. It's just a romp, and I might not watch it this year, but then of course you have to watch Rare Exports, which is a Christmas movie out of Finland. Who the group that made it made a movie that I really like called Big Game, who had Samuel L. Jackson as the president of the United States.
I remember you showed me that one.
That's a decent one. But they made this film before that. They made this film called Rare Exports, where essentially Santa is a evil character who eats children and gets frozen in a mountain. You watch it; it'll make sense.
All right.
What other films out there for Christmas fare
For
am I
me,
missing?
aside from Die Hard, it's got to be Elf.
Elf.
Will Ferrell. Oh,
Yeah, that's actually
that,
because that's
is so
that's one I do.
entertaining. It gets me every single time.
I do enjoy that one. I don't think I watched it last year, but I'll have to watch it this year because James Caan died this year.
He did,
So
and I think it was filmed in largely in Vancouver.
a bulk of it was, except for a particular scene. I've forgotten exactly what it was, but I remember looking that up ages ago. I'm missing a movie. Oh, last year I watched I did go back and find a copy of it, the Star Wars Christmas special.
Oh yeah.
I did watch that last year, although I skipped over
Most-
anything featuring B. Arthur, Harvey
and Art Carney.
Korman, and Carney. Yeah, I skipped over a bit of that. I got a kick out of watching the family stuff with the Wookiees. Like I was like, because when I was younger, my parents got me this storybook, like one of those gold, the ones of the gold I think they're actually called the Gold series, but they have like the binding is gold.
Little
Anyway.
golden books.
That one, yeah. And it was basically a story uh of Chewbacca's child Lumpy, who fell off their house and landed at the bottom of the trees and had an adventure and then got saved by a really terrible drawing of Han Solo. But I always remember that one just because it was so incredibly, I mean, it was Star Wars and I was a kid. Why not?
Yeah.
But did not realize at the time that it really came from the Christmas special because those characters appeared for the first time. Dash, start drinking beer immediately. Get on it.
She's looking at the screen and she's trying to make sense of it.
There is no making sense of this show. We don't even have any. Whoa, we don't have any clue how the show works. But
Okay.
now Dash.
No. Okay, get down.
Dash, I think you need to get one of those horns on your head and tow the Grinch around because you're powerful enough for it.
Oh my god.
Unlike the dog in the show. Are there any other, not Star Wars, are there any other Christmas things that you've...
You know what? The kids got sick of it a long time ago. And they kind of like, every time I watch it, they're kind of like, really? You're watching this? Home Alone. I gotta watch it.
Oh, yeah, of course. That is usually that's the first one I watch just because I enjoy the music, of course. But hey, why not?
Let's see here, what else? Scrooged. I gotta watch Scrooged.
Oh, I didn't watch Scrooge last year. Oh, I should watch that this year because that's the Bill Murray one who's if you haven't seen it, go watch it because it's worth
The
it.
night the reindeer died.
You've been a good boy, Lee Majors.
I remember playing a YouTube clip of that where they're like the ninjas are attacking and the elves and Mrs. Claus are like opening up, on them. And
Psycho, see Santa's workshop.
totally
Robert
worth it. Totally
Goulet's old-fashioned Cajun Christmas. Silver bells.
yeah, the poll. Oh man. Okay, I'm gonna have to watch that one again this year. But I will admit that last year was probably, I think, the first, maybe the second year I actually watched some of those Hallmark movies.
Oh,
Or Hallmark, not necessarily they were Hallmark, but Hallmark style films
right.
where they're entirely predictable. So, and I am admitting something now. I did watch the other day a film called, I don't know, something, starring some famous 80s, 90s actress, and nobody else, come to think of it. I think she was kind of the only known name in it. Christmas Signal? I think it was like, who the hell is in this film? It doesn't matter. Anyway, but it was fun to watch a film that was so incredibly terrible, but not that bad that you just didn't want to watch it anymore. That happens more often, but I fully admit I have started watching those kinds of schlock. I do recommend, actually. I don't remember the title. Let me look this up here. But there was an actor comedian in a stupid show called Space Force. That basically was a Christmas film filmed here in town and a bit in Toronto, and the a whole weird story about catfishing and whatnot, and I enjoyed it. It was quite good. I do recommend whatever that. I'll tell you next week what the hell it was titled, but I can't remember now because I've had beer, and that's the point of the show, and now I'm starting to really lose my mind. So overall, Christmas films we enjoy. And when do you normally watch Die Hard?
I usually watch that one first, so I would watch it probably pretty soon, like any day now. But there's also sort of like a time thing. And
Right.
can I just say, I have all these movies on DVD or Blu-ray, and how much of a pain in the ass it is now to get up and find a disc and throw it into something that will play it. It's like, if it isn't
Yeah.
on streaming, I don't watch it.
You know what's funny? There is a company in Winnipeg that create now. Of course, I'll preface this with, you need to have a TV that has a Chromecast in it or a plugged-in Chromecast. And if you don't have one, they're brilliant. Go and get one. But so they made this software free, and you can install it on your computer. And what I did probably 5, 6, 7, 8, maybe even 10 years ago, um, I actually took the DVDs, I ripped the DVDs and the Blu-rays, and I put them onto my computer, and I can start playing them at any moment and stream them to my TV. Because that's actually your point is well taken, because there's definitely, we've become lazy with streaming. Even though streaming really, when you think about it, is kind of a bad deal for the consumer. But at the end of the day, it is simple. So I kind of, encourage people to run their own media servers, but again, it's hard and requires some technical stuff. But a Chromecast and this plugin, by the way, installs on Google Chrome, and you just tell it, play this file, and then you can send it off to your
I think I've used it before.
I highly recommend it. So yeah, and I did that actually with Top Gun. I did it with Die Hard. So Die Hard is, streams to the TV. So
I
yeah,
wonder-
there's good ways to do it.
I wonder if you could do that. Like, if I pulled out my old Laserdisc player and we pulled out my Star Wars Definitive Edition Laserdiscs.
Now
you
that,
see what I'm getting at here.
yeah, I do. The problem is, I don't know if any burning software or ripping software would actually recognize a Laserdisc. I'd be very curious to know that. I'm sure it's doable, because Laserdiscs, as much as we crap on them as a technology now, or sorry, back then, now people are recognized, and I've actually watched a bunch of people that are all about Laserdiscs on YouTube, and the technology was ahead of its time. It was something that the ability to take that data of a film and put it onto even a record-sized disc allowed us to see films in a way that they would never have seen them before.
Right.
Like, for example, The Abyss. The Abyss is a film that I like, but it's had a weird sort of trajectory to getting onto home media, because there was the theatrical version, and of course there was also the
Director's version.
special edition, or whatever they call it. And the only reason it's in my mind at all is that apparently this month, in select cities, I don't think it's everywhere, the special edition has been upscaled to 4K or to IMAX size, and they're doing a one-day event where they're playing the film in theaters. Which, sadly, I looked it up and it's not doing it here, but that sort of thing, I remember reading and seeing on YouTube probably somewhere about how even that film was different because it was able to be put onto those discs. And does your old player still work?
Who knows? I have to dig it out and plug it in and see if it does.
I hope it does, but yeah, I mean, that's the same sort of thing. Like, being able to find a player to be able to do that now, forget it. I mean, there's probably some manufacturers that do special requests or whatever, but it's too bad. What brand was your player? Do you remember?
It was a Pioneer.
Pioneer. Okay.
I think.
Those are
Pretty sure.
that or Panasonic probably, but Pioneer actually to me seems probably a more likely.
The only thing that was really bad about Laserdiscs, the worst part of it, was that a movie was typically more than one disc. and you
Yes.
had to. It was both sides, so you had to flip it over. So like you play the movie for half an hour, and then it would stop, and then you have to eject the disc, flip it over, put it back in, play until the end of that one, and then stop, take out the disc, put in the next disc.
Looking up how much they could actually store. Yeah, about 60 minutes per side on a certain disc. I guess there's two types of discs. 60 minutes on one, 30 on another. So yeah, that's kind of annoying. I mean, I had that problem with the DVDs for the Lord of the Rings trilogy,
Yeah.
where the DVDs, I originally bought the DVDs back when the films came out, but then later on I got the Blu-rays that I can't play because I don't have a Blu-ray player anymore. But I remember them being, you could have, that limitation was gone. So
Yeah.
anyway, thank you all for listening. We've been streaming for about an hour, and we thank you for coming by and checking us out and all that kind of stuff. All of that stuff that we do with the social media junk, that's all down below. And we will be back next week with another beer. And don't forget to look for us at the post the Christmas season, where we'll be going back to the 12 beers of Christmas. Is that what it's called?
It's just called the Space Case.
The Space Case. We did that last year. So come and join us and figure out what kind of beers are in there, because that'll be kind of fun. But we'll see you next week. Locke says his condolences because he is at a Christmas party today and he couldn't come here and hang out with us and drink beer. But thank you. And Julian, of course, as always, he's here almost every week, and we love him to death. So we'll see you all next week. And don't forget, drink good beer. And if you don't, I don't know what to tell you. But thank you all for watching. We highly appreciate it. And let's get the hell out of here.